Hey, this is Big Girl Diary. I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to tell you a story through the eyes, or through my eyes as I see it. And I very well could be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong, but only time will tell. And before I get into the story, please like, subscribe. Help me with the algorithm I'm trying to get out there. And if you want to help me work on my studio to get better equipment, please do so. Big Girl Diary, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, everything matters. Every dollar will help me to be able to acquire the equipment that I need. Outside of that, I thank you. Please stay. Don't leave. This is very, very, very interesting. We're going to talk about the royals and the outsiders that marry into the royals. And this has everything to do with Prince William, as we see him here. He has a look of talking to this woman, but I'm a little uncertain of her, how can I say, intentions. So let's get to it. Yes, Rose Hanbury has been in the news for all of the wrong reasons. Her husband is the Marquis, and that right there is the person that walks behind the queen, or king, whatever the monarch is, walks behind. And that right there is his or her role. But I think it has been maintained by men. Now, Rose Hanbury married him, but before we get into all of that, let's start from the beginning. Rose Hanbury, bright-eyed, pretty woman, young woman. And she, as many other young women, had the dream of being the queen, being a princess, having the knight in shining armor come and save us from our existence, to marry us and give us the life of luxury that every young girl dreams of. Yes, we all have had that dream. I know I have. However, within that dream, we do not know what it takes to have that position. We have an idea of what we believe it is through movies, stories, fairy tales, carried through the centuries. And those same stories are told now. Rose Hanbury, some may consider a social climber, a gold digger, all of the above. But then again, as quiet as most women are like that. And don't get angry with me. We have to at least be honest with where we are. All women look for a man that makes more money and will be able to give us security that we need. That is very true. Now, there are some of us women who go off and say, I'm my own monarch, I'm my own person, and I don't need a man, and carries on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Rose. Okay, here we go. Now, Rose Hanbury and Kate Middleton will meet. This is when they were young, but they will meet in the near future. So you see how they're dressed, young girls, doing what young girls do. Try to get the attention of the guys and do that through this, but they both have the same energy. They want to be a princess. They want to be a queen. Like I said, as many other young girls. And how we do that, or how they do that, it's a very individual thing. Let's start off with Rose. Rose meets and marries the Marquise. The Marquise is the person behind the queen carrying, or the king carrying, a big staff. And I'm not quite sure what the role is, but it's a very interesting one, because being directly behind the monarch, then the Marquise, and then other people behind the Marquise. Okay? So at some point, David Marquis of Cholmondeley, and his real last name is David Rock Savage, he lives in the hall of Norfolk, not far from the palace where Prince William lives, about 4 or 5 miles down the road, which I find quite interesting because many of them live not far from the royals. They do have royal positions, they're paid positions. However, Marquis David saw Rose and just, I guess he fell in love at first sight, and Rose saw that she would have a comfortable position, she's wealthy, and her husband works with the court and has a title. Everything that she wanted. Now, it may not have been princess, but however, she would be earshot, be able to go to all the functions to where she would be able to meet the royals. The prince, princess, queens, kings, she would be right there in the royal palace, in the royal hall, where all the hustle and bustling is. And she's fine with that. They meet and they get married. And as you look at them, there is a huge age difference. Now, every man has a desire. And many men have a desire to have a beautiful young woman on his arm to show, yes, I still got it. Yes, I do. I got it. And Rose is with an older man that provides her security and comfortability to where to give her everything that she would desire. She would have money, clothes, status, and mostly status. And that's the important thing, is the status that her husband brings to her, and that he has status amongst men as well. It gets very deep within that, but I'm going to keep it surface level. So before we get into the meat of it, we're going to have to go back. We're going to have to most definitely go back. Well, wait a minute. Okay. Now, by her having the status, her husband being in the royal court, being behind the monarch, directly behind, it gives him a higher level of responsibility, and it gives his wife status amongst the royals and everyone in the court, as I said earlier. Now, as you see right here, you see Prince William, you see Princess Kate or Catherine, and you see the Marchioness, I know I'm mispronouncing it, forgive me, Rose. Now, the three of them are congregating together, and her husband, David, is with them, but he's set aside. Now, as you can see, the three of them have their own bubble because they're within the same age. However, Rose's husband is 30 years older than her. He would be more along the lines of where Queen Camilla and King Charles, because he's 65. And King Charles is 73, somewhere around there. So he's about 8 or 9 years younger than King Charles, but 30 years older than his wife. Like I said, beautiful thing right on his arm. But before we get into the triad right there, Because like I said earlier, every young girl has a desire to be the princess. But Catherine is princess, the royal princess, who will be queen at some time. But before we get into how Rose, the Marchioness, becomes friends with Prince William, we have to first go back. We have to go back to King Charles and how things gone awry to where what's going to unfold, how it actually happened and how it was allowed to happen. Let's get into that. Okay, King Charles, or at this case, Prince Charles, he waited, he wanted to date, have fun, and be able to be around other women before he chooses his wife to be his princess, then later queen. He wanted to have fun, or as they say, sow his royal oats, as they say. So here is Queen Camilla, and this was back in the 60s. They dated, and then they stopped dating. And he dated other women. I don't have all of them, but just the ones that are prevalent. Then he dated Diana, or shall I say Lady Diana. Lady Diana she's noble, comes from noble blood, noble English blood. And Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward all have German blood. All of them, because their father, Prince Philip, and Queen Elizabeth are the same. So to cement their royal crown in England, they needed an English noble blood woman in order to become queen. But they're dating. So Prince Charles had to make his choice whom he was going to marry. And most of the time, prince or noble children really do, especially when they are going to become the crowned monarch, do not have a choice of whom they can marry because it's such a small group of women. Very small group. Small selection, and sometimes they're related in some way down the line, but there are some familiar connections. So Prince Charles did make his choice. He married Lady Diana. But the interesting part about this is that they both married, loved each other, and had children. But Charles, he did not want to truly marry Lady Diana because that's not where his heart was. His heart was with another woman that he wanted to marry but was not able to marry due to her circumstances. He wanted to marry Camilla, but Camilla was previously married back in 1965, and she married her husband, and later on at some point was divorced. Now, he wasn't able, even though that he wanted to marry, but was not able to marry for those very reasons. However, Prince Charles kept Camilla around. And Diana had to deal with it. Now, by her being princess, she could have walked away whenever she chose, but she loved her husband. They had children, and she wanted to make sure that they had a stable family. Things happen, people do things, but Diana told Prince Charles and told Camilla stay out of her marriage. And she made it abundantly clear. But Camilla, who had a dream of being a queen, she loved Prince Charles. They had a relationship. And due to whatever reasons that made them go away the first time before Camilla got married, it crept up into Prince Charles's marriage with Princess Diana. And Prince Charles was not faithful at all. And as you can see, there was a lot of love, but a lot of misery. And even though that Charles had adulterous affair allegedly with Camilla, that would have had a big issue with him becoming king. It would have been a very issue, especially if heirs were produced of the affair. But Diana dealt with it, tried to work out her marriage, tried her very best to be everything that Prince Charles wanted her to be, to maintain the marriage, to maintain the family, to maintain the unit. But that's not what Charles was. Well, Prince Charles had his own plans, and as you can see, Prince Charles had Camilla, or whether if Camilla chose or was asked to, dress like Princess Diana. And as you can see here, that's what Camilla did. And at some point, there was a divorce, and Princess Diana did get her divorce. And Prince Charles, he bought her a dress that he wanted her to wear. Princess Diana wanted her to wear, but she did not. But when she got her divorce, she wore it. Princess Diana's revenge dress. Now, the interesting thing is that Camilla now has to compete, because now they are no longer together, and Prince Charles and Camilla can be freely together, not on an official capacity, an unofficial capacity. And Prince Charles had Camilla, or Camilla chose to dress more like Diana, as you can see. Diana pulled it off with grace and beauty. And as you see, everything that Princess Diana wore, Camilla tried to wear. It just didn't, how can I say? It just didn't work out for her. She has her own style, and so does Princess Diana. Here's a better look right here. Princess Diana had the neck, the choker, looks beautiful right around her neck. The sleeves on her shoulders, and it just looked elegant. But when you look at Camilla, it just looked like she had a hard time standing up. I mean, that's just my thought. But there again, she is mimicking what Princess Diana wore, her style. And I'm going to jump out the window and say something like this. There are some women who wants to be someone so bad that they will go as far as looking like them, dressing like them, down to the point to getting their man. They do that. And in this case, that's what it seemed like. And then Princess Diana loses her life. She's gone. No longer in the picture. Camilla is no longer in her shadow. And now she has, and I'm not saying that Camilla had anything to do with Princess Diana losing her life, losing her royal guard, losing her royal highness status, and she had no protection. And Princess Diana moved on, and she was dating Dodi Fayed, an Egyptian, which was a complete fiasco for the royal family. That is something a whole other matter. But she loses her life. She's no longer there. King Charles is now a widower. Prince Charles is now a widower, and he has 2 young boys. Then at some point they get married. Camilla gains the acceptance of the royal subjects. The Commonwealth accepts her to become, first, she was just a royal friend, then the royal girlfriend, then the princess in waiting, or the princess consort, to Queen Consort, to Queen. And it took her a long time to get there, but she did. And as she gained a royal title, it reached her children to where they were able to have royal jobs and to be able to affect certain things. So King Charles set the stage for all of this. Now, this being said, let's go to Prince William. Okay, Prince William dated. And this is Olivia. He dated Olivia. Didn't last that long. Did the same thing what Prince Charles did. Dated women. Dated Kate. Oh, dated her again. And then married Princess Catherine. Married her. He made his choice. Now, there were no other women at all. Just Princess Catherine. And as I showed you earlier, the friendship between Princess Catherine and Marchioness Rose. Oh, before I get there, her husband, David, as you can see right here, this is David. He's a Marchioness. He has a staff. And he's walking behind Queen Elizabeth. He's directly behind her. And he's the closest to royals. Actually, he's closer to the monarch than the prince and princesses are. Everyone in the court. So he has a very high position, that I believe, that has a particular role in all the ceremonies. Now, this is where Princess Kate and Marchioness Rose. Let me just call them Rose and Kate. Please forgive me. I just don't want to mess up her title, and I'm messing it up horribly. So they become friends, they become chummy, they become pals. Now keep in mind, Kate cannot go out in the street and say, hey, can we talk? Can we be friends? No, that does not happen. She has friends that are within the royal court, that are married to the men that have positions within the royal court and within the royal crown. And then she is able to have friendships and talking during ceremonies and parties and gathering and get-togethers. She's able to congregate and talk and have fun with the people that she's around. They became friends. And as you can see here, this is a bigger picture of them, and behind them is Prince William and Marquise David, to where they're behind the women, and they're just shooting the breeze along with everyone. As you can see, as I described earlier, that she and Prince William have friendships within people that are within the royal court. Not going out and hanging out. Oh, I'm going to go down to Westminster and go hang out at the pub with the guys. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Okay, at some point, December 2023, there was an announcement that Kate was going to have surgery. And right now, of June 4th, 2024, she has not been on the scene. She has been recovering, and comes to find out that there was cancer, and she's still recovering, and no one has seen her. Now, within all of this, there is an opening. Yes, I said it, an opening. Here we are. Camilla. Queen Camilla and Marquises are actually no longer Marquises. She divorced her husband, I think after 9 years of marriage. They were married in 2013, maybe, give or take a year or two, forward or backward. And they have 3 children, the same age of Prince William and Princess Catherine. You're going to see this. So, Queen Camilla here was able to become a commoner, to become queen. And she was there in the shadows. Princess Diana knew it. And there was nothing that she could do to remove Camilla from her life, from her husband's friendship, confidant. She was not able to do anything about it. She was a constant there. Now we have Rose. Rose is doing the same thing, and she did it by being friends with Princess Kate. That's not what Queen Camilla did. She was friends with, at that time, Prince William, Prince Charles. They were dated and they had a history, but here that's not the issue. Somewhere within this, there was a connection, an alleged connection. And Queen Camilla is assisting this whole situation. Now, some say that there is a relation between Queen Camilla and Marquise Rose Hanbury. That's alleged. No proof has come up, but it's just what they say, the word on the street or the word in the palace. And you're going to see something rather very interesting. Rose is doing the same thing that Queen Camilla did. Start dressing like his wife. Rose is dressing like Princess Catherine, dressing like her as Camilla did. Now, Camilla didn't pull it off. She tried, but she couldn't. Rose is doing a better job of it. And here you see Rose, Queen Camilla, and a friend. And I could only imagine what they're talking about. One could allege that Queen Camilla is giving her advice on how to become the future queen. Princess Kate hasn't been seen in 6 months. And there's alleged divorce and alleged, we really don't quite know. But we do know one thing, and that is what's rumored, that she has a preventive chemotherapy. Now, the 3 boys, the one in the middle is Prince George. And the other 2 boys are Rose Hanbury's children, or the Marquise, David Marquise of Chomondeley's sons. And it seems like that there is another circle. Who knows whether if Princess Kate and Prince William will be able to patch up their marriage. If there is an issue, we don't know. There's a lot of rumors. We truly do not know. One thing that is known is that she's not there. So, I ask you one thing. What do you think? Do you think I'm onto something? Because it is, to me, it's a good story. It is a good story. The first one actually happened. The second one, it possibly could unfold. But only, like I said earlier, time will tell. Please, like, subscribe. That's for free. Please do that. And I'm going to do more on the royals. Do on all of them. The sticky one is going to be Prince Andrew. That's sticky. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.